Hey up, Rayvers. Now, this week, this film has been requested by multiple Rayvers over years, and I've never got around to doing it. And so many folk have requested it, I've forgotten who requested it. So apologies if you were one of the Rayvers who did request it, and I've not mentioned you. But yeah, this is for you. I did say I'd do it, I'm doing it. It's Hawk the Slayer. Okeydoo. Well, the film kicks off with what looks like an evil Black Knight making his way towards this castle, where this old bloke is standing in a golden room, staring intently at what looks like a purple bath with these two gargoyles dribbling into it. And the Black Knight is none other than Oscar-winning legend Jack Palance. What's he doing in this? But it is him. And he makes his way to the golden bathroom to confront the old fella.
A secret, old man. Tell me and I shall let you live.
Now, let me just pause there, because you're probably thinking the same thing as me. Old man. I don't know who he is to be calling this fella an old man. Jack Palance was born in 1919, and this was made in 1980. So he's 61 here, Jack Palance. Now, I had to look the old bloke up. He was an actor called Ferdy Main, who was born in 1916. So, technically he is older, but it's a bit rich, isn't it, Jack Palance?
It is my right as your eldest son.
Eldest son? He'd have been 3 when they had him. I mean, I get it that actors can play up or down a few years, but come on, it's ridiculous.
I demand the key to the ancient power.
The ancient power must never fall into the hands of the devil's agents. And let the secret die. Now.
Oh, so this chap is a nasty piece of work. He's just killed his dad. I mean, he was like a brother to him. But as the baddie Voltan leaves, his younger brother Orc turns up. Now, this actor, he looks age appropriate, doesn't he? This is a chap called John Terry. Not the former Chelsea and England football captain John Terry, no. But he was 30 when they filmed this. So that's plausible, ain't it? That's a plausible age. Anyway, Orc's turned up too late to save his old man. So on his deathbed, or his death bath, the old man bestows these magical powers to his son. And lo and behold, we have a magic chopper, which flies into Orc's grasp. Just uses his mind to control it, like the Force in Star Wars.
Voltan, you will die by the sword.
Yeah, he's doing some action there, isn't he? Anyway, we get the gist at film. Voltan is the baddie, and Orc is going to get his revenge and do him in, courtesy of this magic chopper. And we then get the title sequence, which, I've got to say, were accompanied by a surprisingly funky soundtrack. Yeah, it's good, innit? It's good. Reminding me of Wayne Jeff's War at Worlds. I don't know what genre you describe it as, but it were like that. It were good. It's the sort of thing I could imagine him using to accompany a goal-scoring montage on the big match. Completely inappropriate for the film, but I did enjoy it. And once the titles are coming to an end, we see this bloke, injured, struggling to escape from a village that's been pillaged and ransacked by Voltan's evil henchmen. Notice that we didn't see it, we just heard it. And this chap turns up at a convent that looks like it's been painted by Bob Ross. And he gets taken in by the nuns who tend to his wounds and restore him to full health. It reminded me a little bit of Monty Python and the Holy Grail with the Nookie nuns.
Hello.
Now, as this chap got lucky, as he stumbled across a load of Nookie nuns.
You were delirious for a long time, and you spoke of many things. Some so terrible they passed our understanding.
Now, they're regular nuns, having none of it. None of it, do you get it? Nuns, no. Oh, forget it. Anyway, who should turn up at the nunnery but Voltan and his henchmen? And they take the chief nun hostage, owing a ransom for a load of gold. So this chap who were hoping to have a toff with the Nookie Nuns, instead goes to see the High Abbot, played by movie stalwart Harry Andrews. And the Abbot gives him some advice.
There is one who has helped us before. He is called Hawk.
Oh, it's a funky soundtrack again. Now, I don't know whether or not that synthesised whistling music is supposed to be reminiscent of somebody like Clint Eastwood in a spaghetti western, but I'll be honest, it reminded me more of this.
A diddler is a slang term.
But it accompanies Hawk every time he appears on the screen. Anyway, Hawk, played by John Terry. Not the John Terry who had a 4-month affair with his teammate's wife, no. Hawk, he decides to help the nuns and get some gold to pay the ransom. But he has to recruit a team to help him, including the Giant, played by Bernard Bresslaw, doing some action stuff, demonstrating his supreme strength and power. Great to see that. And an elf, his special skill is great with bow and arrows. And a dwarf, whose special skill seems to be being a sneaky couple leader. Now, I'll be honest, the effort they've gone to with these different creatures, you know, a giant, an elf and a dwarf, it ain't a lot. It ain't Lord of the Rings, you know, with all the camera trickery and makeup and CGI and all that lot that they do. They've just got a big bloke, an ickle bloke, and stuck some plastic Mr. Spock ears on this bloke. Now, this sequence where he's getting the team together, every change of scene has a different familiar face in it. So it's time for a bumper edition of What Have They Been In? Well, first up, I'll tell you that bloke ain't. It ain't Kenny Everett. But I didn't have to look it up and check, because it looks very Kenny Everett-esque, doesn't it? But no, it weren't him. Next up, the nun, Chief Nun, that's Mrs. Meldrew from Victor Meldrew, you know, One Foot in the Grave. But been in loads of stuff. She has Annette Crosby, loads and loads of TV dramas, like Taggart, for example. This bloke, I remember him, he were in Bridge Too Far as one of the soldiers, but he'd also pop up in TV dramas, like Bergerac. This bloke on the right, Maurice Colborne, popped up in loads of TV dramas, including Howard's Way. He were Howard in Howard's Way. God, I bloody hated Howard's Way. Chap on the left, he'd pop up in TV dramas, like The Professionals. That's Ron Tarr from the Do-It-All adverts. But he'd also pop up in loads of TV dramas, like The Professionals. This lady here, she would pop up in TV dramas and all, like The Professionals. This lady, she'd pop up in TV dramas, like Dempsey and Makepeace. This fella, the elf, he'd pop up in TV dramas, like Dempsey and Makepeace. That fella, that is great comic actor Graham Stark, been in loads and loads of fantastic British comedy films, but he'd also pop up in TV dramas, like Minder. This chap, he also popped up in Minder. That bloke, that's the late great Roy Kinnear. Oh, brilliant comic actor he was, and oh, he'd turn up in loads of stuff as well, including TV dramas like Minder or The Sweeney. That's Warren Clark, another terrific actor who were in loads of TV dramas, including The Sweeney. This bloke, yeah, he popped up in a few things here and there, including The Sweeney.
Can you walk?
Yeah.
Get your trousers on.
This chap with the kickboxing South African baddie in Lethal Weapon 2, but he'd also pop up in loads of TV dramas like The Sweeney. This lady, that's Cheryl Campbell, popped up in The Sweeney. This bloke, Sweeney. This bloke, Sweeney. Him, Sweeney. The wounded fella who were hoping to have it off with the Nookie Nuns, Sweeney. Oh, crikey, that were hard work. I need a drink of water after that. Now, it doesn't seem to have a very big budget, this film. Spend a lot of time in the woods. A lot of time in the woods. There's not many sets. They ain't spent much on set design, I tell you. And in another set piece, set yet again in the woods, Orc, played by John Terry. Not the John Terry who was sacked from England captaincy in disgrace for making racist comments. No. Orc and his men, they murder a load of slavers and nick their gold to pay off Voltan. Tell you what, the fight scene, they didn't do a lot of fighting, just shooting arrows very quickly. And they just kept running the tape back and forth. Reminded me of the double-taking pigeon in Moonraker. But even though they've got the gold, they're reluctant to hand it over until they got the chief nun back in one piece. And Voltan's son turns up with a load of men to grab it.
But I will give you a message. The message of death.
Yeah, he needs to work on his one-liners, that fella, doesn't it? That's rubbish. I have a message for you, and the message is a sword up your arse. You know, that'd be better, wouldn't it? Anyway, after the Cheryl Campbell nun betrays the goodies and gives Voltan the gold in a vain attempt to get the chief nun back.
You said no blood would be spilt inside the church. I kept my side of the bargain.
Unfortunately, you will not live long enough to realise your mistake.
Yeah, look at that. Rookie mistake, love. Rookie mistake. Yeah, Voltan and his mates set up camp in the nunnery. One of the very few interior sets that they spent money on in this film. Well, it's better than being out in the woods, I suppose, isn't it? Anyway, the goodies return to the nunnery and turn it into a snow globe for a big scrap with the baddies, with loads more backwards and forwards stuff going on. And inevitably, we get a climactic duel between the two main characters, and the magic chopper comes to the fore again. It's interesting that this fight is done in slow motion. I reckon it's done in slow motion to double the amount of time it lasts, because Jack Palance probably couldn't do much. So slowing it down and make it last twice as long, wouldn't it? Otherwise it'd be done in 2 seconds. Anyway, no prizes for guessing who comes out on top. So the good guys have saved the day and everybody lives happily ever after. Apart from all the folk who got killed.
We have further need of you, Dark One.
Oh, hold up. The powers of darkness want to use black magic to bring Voltan back from the dead. Sequel! Sequel! They didn't do a sequel. Okeydoo, on to Ray's ratings. Now, I'd never heard of this, and I'll be honest, from the title, I thought it was going to be crap. So, yeah, 1-star film. But was it actually any good? No, it were crap. But I ain't rating it a 1-star film, no. And I'll tell you why. Firstly, there were loads of famous faces in it. And I enjoyed seeing them pop up. I enjoyed seeing Bernard Bresslaw being an action guy. That was fun. So, yeah, that bumps it up another 1/2 star. But also, what a funky soundtrack. As I say, it sounded like War at Worlds in places. But yeah, just as things were getting a bit boring, they'd whack the funky soundtrack on and I'd be bopping away, you know. So that gets it another 1/2 star. So I'm rating Orc the Slayer a 2-star, 1-star film. As I say, it was very low budget, this. It looked like they spent most of the budget on the 2 stars. Voltan, played by Jack Palance, and Orc, played by John Terry. Not the John Terry who, despite being suspended and not playing in the 2012 Champions League final, still got dressed up in full kit to lift the trophy up. No, this chap's obviously a big American star. Not the sort of chap you'd see pop up in a British TV drama.
Thanks for saving me the trouble, Dempsey.
Well, there you go. What do I know? Who'd have thought he'd pop up in Dempsey and Ring Piece? Well, I hope you enjoyed my review of Hawk the Slayer, Rayvers. And if you did, poke the old like button for me. Give it a good old poke. Maybe whip out your magic chopper and poke it with that, like Hawk the Slayer would. And remember to share Ray reviews with your mates and subscribe to the channel if you ain't already a subscriber. Very much appreciated. As are all them wonderful comments you lot keep popping on. Apologies if I can't respond to them all. There's just so many of them these days, but they do make me day reading them, so thank you very much. Now, if you want to support my channel, you can become a Raytron or an Ickle Raytron over on Patreon. I'll pop a link in the description below. Now, part of the benefits of being a Ratron, full Ratron, is that you will be entered into the 2024 Ray Ruttle's Race Night Tournament. And you'll be able to name your horse and have your own little avatar and all sorts. But the deadline for that, if you want to be entered into that, you've got to sign up to be a Ratron before the end of September. So yeah, links in the description below. And copyright box permitting, I'll be back with another review for you very soon. So I will see you next time. Okeydoo!